My name is James Williams Jr. This is part 3. So, as I was saying, you have levels of powers in the Marvel Universe. You have them in the DC Universe, but for all medicinal purposes, this is all about Marvel. Now, at one point in time, as I've said in the other 2 videos, the gods in Marvel were unfathomable. You couldn't touch them no matter where you came from. Galactus never tangled with them. Io, the Living Planet, never tangled with them. Silver Surfer never tangled with them. Any Herald of Galactus has never tangled with them. The Living Tribunal has come through. These other entities have come through, but they have never really tangled with the gods. All of a sudden, we fast forward to the Marvel movies. We fast forward to the New Age comics. And all of the gods and everything else in Marvel, the gods have reduced in power level. And the entities, with the exception of the one above all, has gained in power levels. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not completely relevant at all. But Quasar was not a god. He was a universal being. He impacted the Infinity Gauntlet fight. Adam Warlock, also not a god, but a universal being, impacted the Marvel Universe. I can't think of his name. Maxim something or another. I can't think of his name. But he has short hair. He's like the equivalent of Superman for the Marvel Universe. He actually kind of looks like Superman. He just has brown hair. He's in a yellow suit. They had him on the cartoon not too long back. But he's not a god either. And they have made him almost as strong, if not stronger, than Thor and the gods too. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, why did they do this? How could you possibly put the gods beneath the universal beings? I understand the universal beings, okay. Now, with the exception of fate and death and things that make the universe move, the gods should be right up in there with them, and they no longer are. When at one time the gods were above them. Now, with the exception of fate and death, eternity and eternity, those guys that existed when the gods first came, when the one above all created everything, he created those too. And they have been around, and they'll be long around, just like the one above all. So that he'll never be alone, but everybody else tends to die. At one point, the gods did not die, and now they die. And in the Marvel movie universe, when Odin took his last breath and burst into suns and all that, I'm like, what? Gods aren't supposed to die. And then when Hela showed up and just started beating the hell out of everybody, including Thor, I'm like, this isn't supposed to happen. But it happened, and I'm thinking to myself, what did they like not read the comics? You know, because I know that, first, I don't know who the hell Hela is. And as much of a Thor fan as I am, I don't remember her. I do remember Loki. I do remember Odin. I do remember Thor, both of them, and the other Thors from the other dimensions. And I do remember Beta Ray Bill. What I don't remember is I don't remember Hela. But I also know that the people I just named are as powerful, if not as strong, as gods. However, Beta Ray Bill is not as powerful as a god, but he was worthy of his own hammer, which is Stormbreaker. Now, here's the thing. Beta Ray Bill's powers is his hammer. Thor's power is Thor. He just channels his power through the hammer. Just like he channeled his powers through the sword and the knife that he had before he had Mjolnir. Okay, so that makes some kind of sense. But never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that Marvel would have gave all the gods the finger. With the exception of the one above all. And what about the Watchers? Where do they fall in? They have the power to see every possible outcome, but they are sworn to not interfere. Which I understand that, but at the same time, I'm like, well, you know, one Watcher specifically has interfered in meddlings in the 616, and on more than one occasion he has saved the Fantastic Four ass. But I couldn't tell you his name because they all look exactly the same. All of them. Even the female Watchers are bald with big, gigantic ass heads. Now, the thing with that is, where did the power that the gods used to possess go? Because all the Earth gods, all of them, from Asgard to wherever, all of them had superpowers, like super strong powers, invincibility, invulnerability, and only they didn't tangle with regular Earth people. You know, they tangled Thor would come down and help against Doctor Doom every now and again with the Avengers. But he didn't really like have solo fights with these guys until the Beyonder and them came along. And I guess he dumbed down his powers when the Beyonder came. In closing, I want you all to know, it's been fun, and someone explained to me why did all the gods in Marvel get dumbed down their powers and the universal beings are more powerful. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Company number 2, BC and